Well, take a look at this tweet from USA Today. Hunter Biden's foibles provide ammunition for Republicans who want to inflict harm on Joe Biden ahead of 2024 presidential campaign. Now, the word foibles in that USA Today article drawing a lot of criticism from folks asking if the media is trying to downplay Hunter's crimes as President Biden seems unperturbed while resting at his beach house. Joe Concha joins me now. Joe, by the way, in the 2.5 years he's been in office, almost exactly 2.5 years, he has spent 352 days on vacation. That's almost a full year, full calendar year on vacation. It really is extraordinary. How long did he keep avoiding Hunter's legal problems? Because he has the time to deal with it.
Well, since there's a GOP House now and elections have consequences, he won't be able to avoid it for too much longer. We're going to hear from Devon Archer today. That could be damning testimony. And on many days, speaking of vacations, David, you look at the president's daily schedule, and outside of receiving the daily intelligence briefing mid-morning sometime, there's nothing on said schedule. And here's another stat of the day. Joe Biden has spent 40% of his presidency on vacation. He's literally the living definition of a perpetual holiday weekend. Now, regarding USA Today, they're predictably marching in lockstep with CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, NBC, Washington Post, New York Times by asserting the Hunter Biden story is a nothing to see here moment. Remember, this isn't about Hunter Biden so much. It's about Joe Biden, because regards the question, David, is the sitting president of the United States compromised by adversaries like China as a result of profiting off of the family name during his position as vice president at the time? Is that affecting policy now? And did he do so for personal profit? And anyone who doubts this, by the way, ask yourself this question. How exactly does Joe Biden afford those multi-million-dollar homes in Wilmington and on Rehoboth Beach on a Senate and vice presidential salary?
Yeah.
It's a good question, I think, right?
It is. And God love his wife, but she's not making a mint on her own. Sometimes it's spouses of the politicians that make the money. And then there are questions there, too. But it's clearly that he has the time to deal with it. He's just avoiding. Another thing that he's avoiding, Joe, is, or he has been up until now, is his 7th grandchild. Remember this from 2019 roll tape.
Mr. Vice President, I'm wondering if you have a comment on this report and court filing out of Arkansas that your son Hunter just made you grandfather again.
No, that's a private matter. I have no comment.
Thank you.
You're a good man. You're a good man.
Thank you, guys. This is all the time we have.
Well, finally, years later, Biden's long-awaited recognition of Hunter's child, Navy, well, he came out with it, but it's being criticized. Jonathan Turley writes, Navy and her mother sought recognition, and the Bidens refused. How was that in the best interest, a phrase used in the president's letter on Friday, of the child? Were they fostering a relationship when they gave German Shepherd stockings at Christmas, but not their own grandchild? I mean, that's really what got under the skin, not just of Republicans and Americans who didn't care about what goes on, but also Democrats have been questioning about this.
Turley's a pretty good writer, David.
Yeah.
He put that perfectly. And if you want to see the essence of just how rancid the swamp is, look no further than Team Biden deciding to acknowledge their 4-year-old granddaughter finally in a Friday night news dump doing an interview or giving a statement to People magazine. The only 2 words that come to mind are pathetic and disgusting. And if you think the Bidens are actually going to embrace this innocent child, if you think she's going to go to the Easter egg hunt at the White House next year, or they're going to go over to the mother and the daughter are going to go over to one of those aforementioned multi-million-dollar homes in Delaware for Thanksgiving or Christmas or July 4th, then seek professional help. And all this does is underscores the fact that the Bidens talk about the importance of family, but then when their actions are quite another story, if this child is any indication, David.
Well, and it also hits that good old Joe image that he came out with, particularly when he came into office the first time as president. I mean, that was the image that he's a good old Joe, and frankly, a good old Joe doesn't act like that.
It's all about power, keeping power, and in this case, not about family. That's certainly for sure, David.
Joe Concha, great to see you, Joe. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.